Uncle Vincent got drafted and he went to France and he fought in the war, and then he came home and he disappeared. And I think when the war broke out, he was probably 22 or 23 years old. His unit was Company K of the 325th Infantry, which is part of the 82nd Division, and their big role during the First World War was in this Meuse-Argonne Offensive. And if you read the accounts of that fighting, it's unlike anything that anyone's experienced who's alive today. They were shelled, they were gassed, they got completely decimated during that fighting, and somehow he made it out of there alive when so many of the men he served with didn't. One of the first things they had him doing was picking the bodies up off the battlefield of other American soldiers and burying them. We found out that he actually came home before the rest of the men in his regiment came home. He was home for a little while, and then he just left. And no one knew where he was. No one knew what was going on with him. And then after a period of time, he just came back. And people who knew him said that he was never right after he went overseas. My aunt or cousin who had known him thought that there had been some talk in the family that he had suffered what was called shell shock. His family, from what I understand, they sort of, they just sort of accepted him for what he was and that he was a little off. And I never got any explanations of what a little off meant from anyone, but they all said that he was not right after that, and when he came back he was not right, and they just sort of accepted him as far as that went.